the president's scolding of prominent black athletes touched off a furious national debate. Reactions among football fans were wildly divergent. In his brief time as president, Trump has put his views of American institutions ahead of national unity, our chief White House correspondent writes. With the Senate expected to vote this week on a Republican proposal to repeal the Affordable Care Act, Senators Lindsey Graham and Bill Cassidy shifted more money to Alaska and Maine, whose senators have expressed reservations about the measure. Senator John McCain announced his opposition to the bill on Friday, and it remained unclear if the changes would be enough to persuade other skeptics, including Senators Susan Collins and Ted Cruz, to support the package. Angela Merkel won a fourth term as chancellor on Sunday, but her mandate is diminished by the rise of Alternative for Germany, a nationalist party that got about 13% of the vote, earning representation in parliament. Ms. Merkel had leadership thrust on her 12 years ago, but she grew into the role, our chief diplomatic correspondent in Europe writes. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe called an early election for next month, seizing on anxiety about North Korea and weakness in the opposition. In today's show, we discuss how President Trump has forced professional athletes to become more political. Listen on a computer, an iOS device or an Android device. Silicon Valley's push for gender equality has led to a backlash. An analysis of 90 years of trading suggests most stocks aren't good investments. China's consumers, once famous for saving rather than spending, are piling on debt. U.S. stocks were mixed on Friday. Here's a snapshot of global markets. Tips, both new and old, for a more fulfilling life. Recipe of the day: avoid the deep fryer. Bake your chicken tenders. Use your smartphone to explore a new city like a local. Action, not fretting, is an excellent career and business strategy. At the inaugural Laver Cup, Team Europe defeated Team World as Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer won their first doubles match. The quality of the spectacle and the depth of the emotions were real in Prague, our tennis columnist writes. The Pentagon is testing lasers and nets to combat Islamic State drones. Separately, U.S. airstrikes in Libya killed 17 Islamic State militants. Melania Trump traveled abroad without President Trump for the first time as First Lady, attending an athletic competition in Toronto for wounded service members and veterans. Kingsman: The Golden Circle was no. 1 at the North American box office, collecting $39 million, a bit less than expected. The Lego Ninjago movie slumped. In today's 360 video, a Madhubani painter explains traditional art forms and how she plans to pass on her skills. Our videographer takes us inside a camp in Bangladesh for Rohingya Muslims who fled what you and officials have called textbook ethnic cleansing in Myanmar. That was a chant among Iraqi Kurds at a rally in Erbil, the regional capital, before a referendum on independence today. Nearly every major nearby power opposes the vote, except Israel. Scientists have developed a healthy respect for praying mantises, acrobatic hunters with 3D vision and voracious appetites. Tip: have breakfast first. Sometimes when there are shortages, the price of plantain goes up from $1 to $1.25. This time, there won't be any price increase, there won't be any product. Jose Rivera, a farmer in Puerto Rico who said Hurricane Maria had knocked down almost all of his 14,000 plantain trees and destroyed his other crops. If you're looking for the origins of one of our era's more giddily narcissistic trends, look to Australia. When Oxford Dictionary's crowned selfie its word of the year in 2013, defeating twerk, its editors noted that the first known use of the term was in an Australian Broadcasting Corporation forum 15 years ago this month. A tipsy young man had posted a photograph of his mouth, seeking medical advice after tripping at a party. I had a hole about 1 centimeter long right through my bottom lip, wrote Hopi. And sorry about the focus, it was a selfie. It was a very Australian turn of phrase. In Australia, a barbecue is a barbie. Your work colleague Mr. Fitzgerald is more often than not Fitzy at the pub. Anna Wierzbicka, a linguistics professor at the Australian National University, has said the country's love affair with such shortenings reflects cherished ideals like mateship, humor, informality and a dislike for long words. Although given that Hopi's full name was Nathan Hope, maybe a casual tone is more important than brevity. Your morning briefing is published weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern and updated all morning. Browse through past briefings here. If photographs appear out of order, please download the updated New York Times app from iTunes or Google Play. What would you like to see here? Contact us at briefing@nidams.com. You can sign up here to get the briefing delivered to your inbox. Check out our full range of free newsletters here.